Okay? It says Babylon is fallen, is fallen. The part we sometimes forget, it says, and is become
The habitation
the
of devils.
habitation of devils, and the whole of every unclean and hateful bird. That covers everything.
Yeah.
If your church is full of devils and the whole, it means holding every unclean and hateful bird, there's only one thing you need to do. Come out of her, my people.
That's right.
Jesus have other sheep that are not Seventh-day Adventists,
That's
and
right.
you and I ought to call them out.
That's right.
Let me. There's a symbol here that he's mentioned. Unhateful, a bird. What is that bird a symbol of? What is it a symbol of?
Vultures.
Yeah.
Scavengers.
Scavengers.
The scavengers?
Yeah. Satanic agencies. Evil spirits.
Spirits. It's like I say, spirits of devils working miracles.
Yeah. That's what they are.
Just like he called them dumb dogs.
Is that good, teacher? Did
That's
you
good.
say the right answer?
I did, right. That's right.
The Bible also called preachers dumb dogs
Dumb
That's
dogs.
that would not bark,
That's right.
Right.
are the first to feel the wrath of God. You can read that in Ezekiel 9.
That's right.
You know, and that's what's happening. So this is the insert that we put in there. It takes these people straight to the prominent truths that they need to learn.
I want to
And
get a
then-
copy of that.
Yeah, you're welcome to get one.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
listening.
once
Like a bunch
you
of
once they get in there and get those prominent things, then they're going to go to the other chapters.
Yeah.
The Spirit's going to
They
direct them
hook.
then.
They hook then.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
this is a schedule. This get them read this, and by then, boy, the Spirit is really working with
That's
them.
good because I always, when people say they don't like history,
Right.
I always direct them back to the middle of the
Right.
book. You know, get into the
Right.
meat of it.
Right.
This is good. It takes
Yeah.
them different
It
sections.
gets them the primary thing: the angels, the state of the dead, the Sabbath, the
Right,
law.
yeah.
They will read tomorrow's news today.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it. And from then on, once they get in that book, the Spirit takes over.
That's right.
It'll just,
Captivate them.
it'll just take them.
Right. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
And just to add to that, like for me, I was in the church really almost 3 years before I read Great Controversy all the way through. It was just too, it was too much for me. But early on, Elder Mims gave me the National Sunday Law.
Right.
And when I read that book, I said, wow, this is the book that people should have. So I ordered 100 and gave them to my family, and it didn't really work. But my neighborhood is so large. There's
Right.
800 people. So I chose the National Sunday Law and created an insert that invites them. Once you finish this book, just let me know, and we'll give you the next book, which is the Great
Because
Controversy.
you know they'd be hungry for
And
more.
then, of course, yeah, and of course we sent them to certain pages in the National Sunday Law,
Right.
but it was just more affordable
Yeah.
to get the 800 of the National Sunday Law, and then if they want the Great Controversy, just contact me and let me know.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So you can do an insert with any of whatever
Yeah.
you're giving out.
You can
Thank
make
you.
your own insert. The Spirit will lead you. Just like it directed us here. I've been doing this for a long while. I buy cases of Great Controversy. This particular book, it won't fit on the other book because when they made other Great Controversy, the pages are different.
Right.
I strictly
SASI.
Yeah, I strictly use this one. You know, I get them at the Book and Bible House, you know, and every month I buy a case of them. Now, where I live at, I have to put them in the same bag like Dolly has. I have a white bag, but I can't get to their house. We had to drop them at their mailbox. So I wrap them up in the mailbox.
You don't put
And
them in the mailbox.
Huh? No, you can't put them in the
No,
mailbox. No. And so I wrap them up in plastic bag and I drop them at the foot of their mailbox. That's where, in my town, they drop papers and everything. They drop them at the foot of the mailbox. That's how it works in our neighborhood. So that's what I do.
You're
But the
not,
thing-
not allowed to put them in or on.
That's right. We don't touch
No.
nothing to do with the
No.
mailbox. We put them right at the base of it, where they drop the newspaper and any books anything that you want to get to the people. They always put them at the. That's how we do it in New Jersey. Anyway, the point that I want to clearly say, we're working with three churches in New Jersey: Burlington, Willenburg, and Mount Holly. I met with the pastor, and we're trying to build up, get this message out. But there was a quotation that I shared with the pastor, and this is very important. for God to use us, we must follow his instructions.
That's right.
And here's what it says. It says, in heaven, there is perfect order.
Amen.
They don't do anything out in the field protecting you or guarding you, guessing. They know exactly what their job is going to be, and they follow exactly. And it says that God does not authorize the angel to bless our efforts if we're disorganized.
That's right.
That's something.
They cannot bless our missionary endeavor if we don't know what we're doing. That's why I would say we need to know exactly what we are doing and follow it. Just like we did it today, it's a good example. This angel went to that segment, the angel went over that segment, they did that segment, and there was no confusion, we came back. That's how it should work.
That's right.
We went to a church, one of the 3 churches we were working with, and I told the pastor that, but next week we went right out, mass confusion, Babylon. We didn't know if the people in front of us had covered these houses or not. Only way we knew, we saw it on the door. But it was real confusing in the field. And we don't want that. It's hard for people to be disciplined and to follow obedience, follow orders.
Yeah.
Now, as a soldier, when they say left, they mean your left feet. When they say right, they mean your right feet.
That's right.
And you need to be in line.
That's right. In step.
Okay? And if you're not in step, the sergeant gonna call you out.
Chew you out.
That's right. Do that. Fall out. Get me 3. Whatever. He's gonna call you out. But that's for man's army. We're in God's army, and we need to learn to dress right. That means, get in line, get in order, stay in step. And if we do that, God will bless our efforts. For years as Christians, we just think, God takes anything. He doesn't.
No, he don't.
He doesn't. And so that's why God is going to have to shake up our church where the wheat and tare is growing together.
Right.
Because he can't pour out the latter rain on a disorganized
That's
church.
right. Yeah.
He can't do it. So there's such a thing in our church called the shaking. Okay? And the shaking is going to shake out everybody who really don't know what they're doing, or they doubt that God knows what he's doing. All these doubts, they're all going to get shaken out. And then all those people who he called his sheep in Babylon and in the world and in heathenism, etc., we are told they're going to come in and take our places.
That's right.
How does the quote go, Elder? It says, tenderly, the Lord will look upon those who have had no opportunity to know what is truth while the door is shut to those who would not enter.
That's right.
That's serious. That's serious. We have all this opportunity to do stuff right. We have all the counsel. We have the Bible. We know tomorrow's news today. But we don't do anything. We're led to see it.
And like the door was shut in
Noah's day.
1840.
That's right.
To the
Most holy place?
Yeah.
yeah, from the holy place.
Yeah.
Holy place to the most holy place.
That's right. Yeah, those churches, they are in total darkness
Right.
as to the plan of salvation of the sanctuary. When they rejected the first angel's message, all pioneers preached the second angel's message. Babylon is fallen. And from rejecting the first angel's message, they could not receive the second angel's message, and they cannot receive the third angel's message. They can only get it now from us, who's going to present it to them. Okay?
Right.
So now, let's go through this chart. I like to start this chart in the Garden of Eden. Okay? Let's see. This is, it's behind here. This is where we connected. Okay? You got to connect it like this. This is a cryptic little chart. But we start way back here in the Garden of Eden. You don't even see it on there. It's back over here. Okay? What it does, when Adam and Eve sinned, you know the story. We don't have to go all the way back there. God kept picking out those who would obey him, become to Noah, and the world was getting wicked. And he says, I'm going to destroy the world. But, I found favors, Noah. Tell the people I'm going to destroy the world. They didn't listen. So Noah and all his family went into the ark, and they came out, and then God chose a man called Abram. You heard of him, right? And he says, come here, I want you to look at these stars. I'm going to make your seed as the sand as the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So God chose Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right?
Right.
And he had these 12 sons. And there was a famine in the land. And they went down into Egypt.
Thank you, Dolly.
And God told them that he would bring them out by a mighty hand. And they came out, and he took them through the wilderness. He was taking them to a promised land. He says, all those nations over there, I'm going to drive them out, and I'm going to give you their possession.
Mm-hmm.
So he told them what to do. He